And that's where I was trying to drive Tima to earlier, because there's some lessons here for you ladies. Okay, there's some lessons here. Okay, listen. Remember, you cannot control other people. The same thing that goes for the man goes for you. You can't control other people. All you can do is influence them, and that starts with your awareness, right? If a man is making less than $100,000 a year and you make $5 million a year, there's an uphill battle ahead of you. Typically, okay. It's not nobody's fault. This is not the moment to say, but why are men so insecure? This is not the moment. This is not the moment to say, but why can't you have self-control? I'm telling you what it is, okay? In fact, if we need to blame somebody, you might end up blaming yourself. But if you and I would agree, let's remove blame, okay? Some things are just the way they are, right? It's not like it's impossible. It's possible, okay, to be with somebody that makes less than you. It's very possible. Okay. Is it probable? That's another question. Without issues around this issue, right? Even a man that has bigger capacity than you, but he's in a moment where he's not bringing in something temporarily, right? That can even tamper with that relationship. How much more this guy doesn't have the capacity? He doesn't have that level of income. He doesn't have that social, what do you call it, currency. He's not Kiki Palmer. Right? How much more? Right? And we're just going to pretend like this might not cause it can cause issue, especially if you're all unaware, especially if you're disputing it and you're like, but it shouldn't be, and you're stuck on it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be is a fantasy. That's not the reality. It is that way. It is what it is. Okay? It's part of our social construct. You can mitigate against it by just being aware, by working on your security, by making sure, ladies, you get with, if you have to, because I understand the dating pool shrinks. The higher you go in social economic class, your dating pool shrinks. The older you get, it shrinks. But you need to be aware, at least when you're dealing with people, this is not negotiable. If you're looking for non-negotiable, it needs to be a man who is comfortable in his own skin, who is comfortable staying in his own lane. It doesn't mean he won't make this kind of mistake, but he can mitigate it quickly and say, you know what, I was wrong. He won't come back and double down and say a man speaking in his own house without putting a ring on it first. It will already feel weird, right? He will just let it die down. Hopefully that's what he's doing right now, right? If you don't look for, like, on the general scale, in general, you should always look for a man who is secure in his own skin. But again, security like that, being insecure, is not an absolute. We all have our own insecurity in one shape, form, or the other, right? So there might be moments where I show some insecurity with respect to certain aspects of our life, right? It's about, how do I respond to that? How do I mitigate in the next few hours, next one day? Are we okay? Did I learn from it, right? But when you have coconut heads, like a lot of the modern men that we have today, and they are showing you insecurity, he's already telling you that he doesn't like the dress, and you know that you are Kiki Palmer, but you still decide to go and have a baby for this person. Yourself, you go collect to Oto. I can't deceive. I cannot lie to you. It's the reality of what's going to happen. Okay, that is going to happen, and it's going to get worse because he's now considering himself the man of the house, your baby father. So it's like, I should have some control. Well, wrong language already. It will probably control his mindset. It will get worse. You will feel unsafe, like Tima has been saying all day long. Once you start feeling unsafe, she doubles down, right? She multiplies what you bring, gentlemen, right? It just gets worse and worse and worse. Before you know it, we have another celebrity. It didn't last, right? What just happened will happen to any man, but it can only happen so many times before a Kiki Palmer says, but come and be going, come and be going, come and be going to your house, right?
Like,
It's
can you echo everything you be saying maybe 100 times to really make sense? I can't say anything after all you've said. I wish you can echoing it, begin to repeat it.
Yeah, it's the reality, sir. It's the reality of
You are
some
saying
of the things that's going on right now. You have women saying it shouldn't be that way. Men should be comfortable with their own skin. And then you go and marry somebody. You're making $40 million a year. If you're making $4 million in a year, and you marry somebody who is making $100,000 a year, right? First of all, with his little $100,000, he feels like a king, right? But wait until he's put in a position where he's looking at you dancing with Usher on stage, and everything is hanging out like that, right? And then you just had argument last night. He's feeling some type of way. He will jump on the internet. He will do it. Now he will say, "Forgive me. I'm sorry." Tomorrow, this is the reality of how it works out. He will say, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean it like that. Come on, baby." He might even cry. Yes, they do cry sometimes, right? And then 2 months later, because he never really went through the coaching that he needs to go through on how to handle this kind of situation, right? Why? Because it's already inside of the situation. So he's living this, so it's a very difficult place to go into a mode of lesson when you're already in it. You have a baby with this person, you feel like you're the king, but you don't feel like you're the king at the same time. At the same time, you feel like you're a king, but you don't feel like you are the king. You know that what kind of confusion that brings. You had moments where you had sex, she was happy and everything, you're like, and then the next day she's like, you don't even know what she's talking about, because you said, so I can't have control over my woman, and she's like, control, and you're like, control, and he said, Drake, and then you're confused. It's a very confusing place for young men to be in. It's almost impossible to come out alive. When I say alive, I mean like the relationship, if you don't learn this stuff, gentlemen. Ladies, you will not be able to help him. Okay, there is no logic you're going to speak to him. Okay, it's not going to work because he's caught up in his emotion. It's misplaced feminine energy. Is going to just get worse. You can just yell at the top of your lungs, insecurity. He will fight and say, insecure, stop calling me insecure, right? That's what we'll be busy doing. He'll be busy defending himself, right? He won't be able to learn what you're talking about, and you yourself, you're just as confused because clearly you think he should. You're putting this onus on a human being. It's a human being. He can't make himself feel like he makes $4 million suddenly, okay? It's something innate, it's inherent, it's deep inside. He doesn't even know what's going on. So why am I saying that? I'm saying awareness. I want to bring your awareness to it. Some of you might just have a lot going on. You make good money, but you look at the dating pool, somebody is making a little less than you. You will need coaching on how you work against the forces of evil that will attack you, particularly from this standpoint, right? You won't understand what's going on because he will tell you, no, I'm secure. And you'll be like, well, you're not secure. Well, I'm secure. I know. I'm just trying to protect you. You know, this man out here, you know. No, you're not. We have forget about Usher's. Kiki will probably be like, forget about Usher's concert. Remember the conversation we had 2-3 days ago? You are insecure. We need to talk about this. Well, stop calling me insecure. That's what's wrong with y'all women these days. That's going to be the conversation. So you're having one conversation, he's having another entirely. You know, a house divided against itself. It's just impossible. Go to stand, right? Go to stand. That's what's going on here. Let me see. Tima, you came back. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I came back.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand what you just said. I guess we can always learn from this, but she's picky. I stand by her. I don't know. I can't go back.
The West is no wala. Fabtoli says, Fabtoli, tell me, are you a man or a woman? Please let me know. They said, the West is a very artificial environment. Any gender can be richer. Why is it that women are adaptable but men are fixed? No, I think it's. Anybody want to give that question a shot in the panel?
No, I think it has a lot to do with.
Woman.
Okay, I think that has a lot to do with how a woman is designed different from a man, because a man is expected to lead when you're in a
Right.
relationship, right? And if you're gonna lead, you have to be able to have all the basic needs that not only emotionally, financially, physically, all of those things has to be in place, right? So even if the women have all the money in the world, all the money will not give her the safety that she needs, right? Her safety, the feeling of being safe with a partner, because you expect your man to protect, to profess, and whatever, all of that goodness, right? You still want that as a woman. We don't want
Yeah.
harshness. You know what I mean? No matter how intelligent or how rich or how big in the world that we are as a woman, if we
Right.
are dealing with a man, we feel much better if that man exercise his leadership skill accordingly, like very well, and we feel safe. With safety is not something to joke with. Okay, safety of a woman from her man, trust me, we all need it. You need that safety, and whatever form that comes, and if your man can give you that, it's like you have everything. I mean, really, I don't know how I can describe
Right.
it.
No,
I
that's a good one. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say the way I see the way I understand the question that was asked is, why is it that men are fixed and women are adaptable? I think it's in our nature. I just simply think it's our nature, and
Was
it's what
you mean like women's nature to adapt?
yes.
Okay.
I think we're more flexible. Also goes. I'm going to speak for my type of environment that I come from. Our training is that we're multitaskers. We are always we think about people first. We are always doing, because we have this nurturing behavior. Most of us by default, not all of us. So
Right.
when we come to an environment where when we are empowered, like the economy empowers us, especially women. Like, you can do anything, you can go back to school, and it then puts you in this pedestal where you earn more. You are already for me, I'm going to speak for myself. For me, I won't be looking at my partner that, oh, because I earn more, you are now subpar to me. No, I'm looking at it that, oh, I can do this, you can also do it too, right? Because from where I come from, I didn't even think I could do that. Even if I thought I could do that, the environment was not supportive. But then I'm in this new space where is the playing ground is now leveled. So I think it's in men's nature. Men is the nature. So if we understand that is the nature, then we now understand. Okay, so you think maybe you don't feel like you can do this. You don't feel comfortable. Why don't you feel comfortable? Okay, I don't know for men, but why don't you feel comfortable? Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can tackle it. What we can do to make you comfortable. If you
Right.
have that type of conversation, it should be easier, I think, for the
So
man.
he would need to admit first of all that he's not comfortable.
Yes, you have to admit. It's like a fat person. You have to admit that you are fat.
So let's bring
If you
this
are
into
saying,
it. Ego,
yeah,
social construct. When you bring this into the equation, how would that work out? Ego, a man admitting that he's not comfortable with you making more money or having a higher social class, economy class. Yeah. Because that's a difficult thing.
I think it has to have a way that, as a couple, again, we have to be very careful, when we are talking about the leadership skill, when a man has to exercise that, because it's not a one thing fix all kind of situation.
Right.
Okay. When we talk about
You have to
leadership
be like
skill,
water.
yes, you have to be very fluid. So
Yeah.
when we are talking about the leadership of a man, and you have this woman, right? It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but you have to really know how to play your game, because you are dealing with this person. So
Right.
it's like you're almost gonna have to study this person and be able to attend to their needs accordingly and make it fit in a way that if I'm a woman and I have to spell it out for you, or I have to, spell it out, there's no way I'm going to feel safe in that kind of environment with that kind of a man like that. I have to spell it out for you. I expect you as a woman to please develop your leadership skill and come correctly and then I will, then we meet each other in whatever. It doesn't have to be halfway or middle way, but at least let me feel like you know what you are doing. If you don't know what you are doing as a man or a woman, it make you question them, and you don't. It's like it doesn't work. If you can't, if you have to question them, it doesn't work.
At least
But
give me
I
something to
understand
work with. I think what you said, at least give me something to work with. Don't just come and say, "Oh, I'm an open book." We have to work with. We're adults. Give me something to work with. I'm ready to teach you, but you also have to tell me that you have something. Can't be starting from scratch, because this is where nagging starts. This is where the man ego tends to drop, because if you are coming and we have to tell you everything, for example, it's not fun for the man. It's not fun for the woman. Then it leads to cheating. It leads to extra. It leads to a lot. So this is how I see it. So that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem.
Yeah. But Patrick, can you speak to this question? Why is it that women are adaptable but men are fixed? I mean, obviously, first of all, do you agree? And then can you speak to it?
Well, it depends on the environment. And the culture also influence the situation. Yeah, like women, they have an inbuilt power that God has given to them to strive. They multitask. They bear children. They have that power that a man cannot contend with them in that area. And if they can use that one, like if you see, let's take America for example. Let's be sincere. Most women right now are earning more than men. Yes. Even in IT,
it's trending upwards. Yes.
Yes, it's trending upward. And most of them are very smart. And some men are struggling. Even being in America, And men don't talk.
And that's the part I was just talking about, right? If a men generally don't talk, they won't admit. Like now, we're asking them to check his ego, another difficult task. To come and admit, you know what, I'm just not comfortable with you making more money. He has to admit that that's the truth first.
And most men those men that actually make it are usually backed by their women, by their wife. Full support, you know what I mean? So you are going to make it. Just let's do it, even as a professional. Some of them stop at the time, but the woman will just, okay, let's do it together. You can do it. Because women are used to it. And when we look from where we are coming from, for example, I know some people believe women are supposed to be at the background, are supposed to be in the kitchen, but when when you come to a society where women are free, you can become, why not use it? Yes.
Yeah.
That's why some men, it's not as if they cannot move forward. But once they got to a state, I said, let me just relax. At least I'm earning a little. That's why you see men were driving Uber even when they have other opportunity. Yes. They just need someone to tell them and say, okay, you can do this. And in my last talk, I gave an example of Nigerian men. That most Nigerian men that comes here, they have first degree. Let me say 70% of Nigerian men that jackpot have first degree here. But when you come to America, it's a different place entirely.
It's a different environment, and that's part of the things that men resent, sir. The fact that it's just different in America.
God spoke to me about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. He said, Patrick, America, this America, Ola, you are not entitled to anything. You must earn it.
Yeah, there's no such thing as right.
Yes,
it's my right.
Yes, you must earn it. I'm not boasting where I'm at my job now. Position I'm holding, they brought somebody that had 40 years of experience. Ola, I have an MBA, but this man came. They gave him senior manager. You know what I mean by senior manager?
Mm-hmm.